What is good, ladies and gents? How we doing? How we feeling out there? Happy Tuesday. We are back in action. Took yesterday off for the natty that we got, but we are back in here ready to talk some sports, see what's going on in the sports world, and get geared up for these playoffs that are about to occur. This is the Bet Champ Show after hours, ladies and gents. Got the fellas in here, of course. We'll just do a quick little around the room, little roll call here. Of course, we got North Glenn's finest, the Soch man in the house. Soch, how we feeling?
Feeling good as always. I mean, March Madness is officially done. NBA playoffs right around the corner. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Like E said, for the last couple episodes, don't bet on anything, but I couldn't help myself, so I bet on something. So, I mean, it's gonna be when you really want to start betting is when the playoffs come. So just wait, tread water lightly, and we'll get it going once that starts up.
And then, of course, go ahead, Big E in the house. Here we go. How we doing, E?
Outstanding. Yeah, it was a great weekend, right? NCAA's, Major League Baseball going off, WrestleMania. Are you kidding me? What a great weekend. You look at this weekend, we got the Masters coming up. I know Soch will probably have something for us Thursday.
Yes,
Big
sir.
guy, but I mean, it's that tournament time, and then we'll roll right into the NBA playoffs. It's a great time to be a sports fan.
100%. Yeah, like he said, we got a lot coming, guys. A lot of sports picks to come. Of course, the Masters is going to be huge. We're going to start firing some shots for that. Who's going to make the top cuts and everything? I know Soch is tuned in on that, and it's just going to be a great week. We got like around 4 games left in this NBA regular season. Then we are on to the playoffs, see what's going on. So we're going to absolutely get some banger plays for you guys on that one. And just keep this thing rolling, guys. That's what we're doing. We're here to talk sports with you guys, but give out some sports picks as well. Soch man in the house. We got some people in here. We got a couple people live listeners. Shout out to you guys, but Soch has a live bet for tonight's game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. You fucker. I'm gonna go CP3 over 7.5 points tonight. If if you follow us close, I like to bet kind of late last minute. So had Jay Crowder over 4.5 PA, but ended up not playing, so that's going to be a push. But I really like CP3 to go over 7.5 points tonight with no Anthony Davis. Obviously, the Warriors are still trying to maybe even push for a last second, flip the switch on the Lakers. So that'll be a good one. He's going to play. It's not going to be like a DNP like Jay Crowder. So I like that one over 7.5. Honestly, almost plus money at -105. So we're going to roll with that one tonight. I'll be looking live for that one.
Lock it in, ladies and gents. That's Warriors versus Lakers right now live. Chris Paul over 7.5 points. Get it out while you can. Let's kind of hop into tonight and everything. Obviously, we just had the Natty Championship, men and women's, for the March Madness Final Four, of course. What did we kind of make out of both games here? I know I got some things to say on each topic and whatnot. But first game, right, we had South Carolina versus Iowa in the women's, and then we had UConn versus Purdue. That was last night in the next one. Kind of what'd you guys think of both games? How'd it go, and how was the tournament for you overall in general?
Go ahead, E.
Well, I think we talked about this like a month ago when we're getting started, right? The first 2 rounds is all the upsets, the kind of crazy stuff that goes on. And then it levels out the closer you get. I think this weekend played out just the way most people had it, right? You had an undefeated South Carolina team, which you can look at as, say, Marvel Comics. Let's say they were the Avengers, right? They're a complete team. They're ready to go, and they're taking on Deadpool. They're taking on that soldier, the solo soldier with Caitlin Clark. No disrespect to the other 4, but I'm saying it was basically Clark against South Carolina, right? And that's what the NCAA. I'm not saying that the stuff there. That's what they wanted. That was the matchup, man. What they have, like, I forget the views. I know the views were what I read today, there was more views for the ladies' game than the men's. So you're on mute, ZJ.
I was gonna say with the views, it was 18.7 so million or whatnot, is highest viewed sporting, like one of the highest viewed sporting things to date and everything. And they were saying, yeah, and even the past one where it was UConn and them, still it just shattered pretty much any type of sporting event and whatnot. So I mean, that's huge, especially for the sport in general.
And they, in football, we throw this term out about every other year. But she's a generational talent, Clark. And she brought talent in there. You had an undefeated Dawn Stanley Gamecock team. Next year, let's see if they can build on it. That's the whole thing. You guys, what a great foundation they left for women's basketball. Now you have to build on it. Who's going to be next year's stories? What are they going to do with it? But I think as far as that game, it played out like most thought. The men's game, same thing. UConn-Purdue is probably the matchup most were wanting to see. And I just think that what we saw this whole tournament was a coaching clinic by Coach Hurley. I mean, he rolled through these folks in this tournament, and a little bit of Belichick, right? Two things he can do. Let me get your best weapon. We're going to take that away from you, or we'll take everything else away. And he decided to let him eat, and we'll take the others away. Interesting stat. UConn guards outscored Purdue's guards 47-17. I mean, the guy was on lock. They defended the three-point line. They went up there, and he said, you hear guys talk about, and Satch will probably clown me a little bit here, but Damian Clingan, whatever the center for UConn, they're like, oh, Edey ate him up. He don't give a shit. His goal was to go out there, don't foul out, and don't give Edey a little bit of room, but let Edey eat and get his 2-point plays and let your team do everything else. He's a 2-time national champion. He doesn't care what went on with that. But the way those guards took their game over, we'll go back to the Bama game. Now let Satch go. Same thing. First half, man, Bama's guards, they were lighting it up. They were hitting the threes. He goes in the locker room, adjusts, locks down the 3-point line, and they wind up beating them again by over 13. So, just what a great – the guy, a lot of people don't like him. He can be – or he is a dick in a way. But as far as a coach, man, what a great guy. I think he's putting a program on the map. They're going to be around for a while. I know Kentucky's trying to get a hold of him, but he said he's not moving. We'll see. Money talks a lot. But those are my thoughts. I'll pass it off to Satch.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at like what Dan Hurley has been able to do in terms of reviving a whole university, he's done that. UConn has been a nationally Cinderella, blue collar team for a while. He's brought him back to life. He's, a couple of years back, that the video that's been circulating is "You better get us now," and I mean he's completely right. Off of last year, they won the Natty, and then he brings in like 3-4 new starters. That's it's kind of unheard of to bring in 4 new starters, especially with the transfer portal. He's brought in the guys that can get it done. So shout out to him. He's going to be able to do that pretty much anytime he wants now because he has the resume to do it. Dangerous coach. He does have a little Belichick in him, like he said. We're going to take away your best weapon and we're going to let everyone else eat, or everyone else eat and we're going to take away your best weapon. They decided to let Zach Edey do whatever he wants with 37 or 39 and whatever it was and 10 rebounds. 47-17 is not going to get you a national championship. So, I mean, shout out to Matt Painter even trying. They went a lot further than a lot of people thought just because of their history. Zach Edey has been, the guy that's been driving the ship for a couple of years now. I mean, it was a good natty. It was a good national championship. Obviously, UConn is just so much better than everyone else. That's what it comes down to. And Purdue played a great game. They just weren't able to get over the hump that is UConn. And Dan Hurley's he's a force to be reckoned with for years ahead. And I mean, in terms of him going to like Kentucky or whatever those those high-end programs are, I mean, he should probably stay at UConn. UConn in no way, shape, or form should let him walk. They should be able to match whatever he wants to get,
they should,
and they're going to extend him. And if they don't, then I mean that's on UConn. But when you got a coach in Dan Hurley and Gino Auriemma for the whole basketball program,
yeah,
that's a big thing.
It's not,
that's what
it's not like you have a football team. You have another program that, you know, you're dividing those funds or matching out with. I mean, UConn is basketball. And so, and to Coach Painter, that's a good point. And this isn't a knock on him, right? He went with what got him to the dance.
Yeah.
Man, we're going to feed the big guy. And Hurley just said, okay, let him eat, and we'll shut everybody else down. So, it's a chess game, right? It was well done. Yeah, I'd like to hear ZJ. What's your thoughts?
Shout out Kaylee for putting something in the live chat. She went Paige and Juju for next year. Real quick on that. Yeah, obviously, Juju from USC, the freshman, she was absolutely incredible this year and how far she actually got and everything. I think she's averaging like 20-some points a game or whatnot. I know she can attest for that. Watching her, and here's where we kind of go back to Caitlin Clark and everything like that, because outside of Caitlin Clark, I knew nothing about who was good in the women's tournament and all that, but Caitlin Clark brought all that to light, right? Because now you're watching everything, and now I watched, you know, Paige Becker's game, Juju and whatnot, as well as a lot of these other incredible women out there hooping out. So huge shout out to that for putting some light on it. The women's tournament was awesome. I thought it was really cool. Obviously, the South Carolina Iowa matchup was the one you wanted to see. I think the world wanted to see. I thought it was great. Obviously, Caitlin Clark. I mean, the way it started too, right? South Carolina is dominant, but Iowa came out to like a 10-0 lead. Caitlin Clark schwacking threes from deep. It was just incredible. It truly was. It was fun to watch. Shout out to South Carolina too on the other side of things. Dawn Staley, 3 natty I think I saw she has 3 national championships now. I think she won 3 Olympic medals, I want to say, with Team USA, and I think she won another one coaching Team USA. So that lady, that woman is out there just doing her thing, and she even in her presser was like, you know, and shout out to Caitlin Clark too for just putting eyes and viewership on this, you know, on everything women's basketball, which I think is huge. You know, it brought more viewers to it, made it fun, made it interesting. So shout out to all that. I thought it was cool. I thought the women's was absolutely outstanding with everything they did. And I think it's going to continue to be like that, you know, because now it opens the door for more things. Now that we go over to kind of the men's side of things and whatnot, obviously I thought a great tournament as well. Everything was awesome. We loved the story over here on the show for NC State and everything that they did going up to it. We talked about UConn and Purdue on their side of the region and everything, and how they pretty much steamrolled everyone making it to the national championship. And I think the crazier part is too, Purdue was steamrolling everyone. UConn was as well. But then when Purdue and UConn matched up in the NAT, you just saw how good Purdue was for steamrolling everyone, how much better UConn is as an all-around basketball team. I mean, because they just had their way. The men's national championship for me was honestly a little boring just because of how the game went. You know, UConn was pretty much up the whole time, controlling the game. You know, you want to see a close game and everything. But if you look at everything, that was probably the best matchup we were going to get in that national championship game, you know, and that's how good, again, UConn actually was. And shout out to Coach Hurley over there. I was watching clips about how he runs practice and everything, and he honestly runs practice like it's a military boot camp. He really does. Like, it's all serious, and you tell by the way they play, there's really no room for error and everything. So, and then kind of going back to where he might go, yeah, I think UConn, you know, you just won back-to-back 2-time national championships. What he's done for the program, what he did from last year losing guys to come back again this year with a new team is absolutely outstanding. So I think it was awesome. All in all, men and women's just awesome. It's an awesome time to be a sports fan right now. So much going on and so much more to look forward to going up. But the the whole March Madness tournament I thought was great this year. And I really think especially with Caitlin Clark and everything, it just brought new viewership, new eyes to, I think, I want to say both sides, men and women's, which is absolutely crazy. And we'll see what happens with that. I'll go to E on this one. We were talking about this earlier, E. It's crazy for how great Caitlin Clark is, how good she is, and how much more she can become in the WNBA. When she gets drafted and everything, she's going to get paid $76,000 in the WNBA. $76,000. An extreme talent like that. And you got, and obviously we've been talking too. She's got people offering her $5 million. I've seen $10 million to, play here, play this TV type of stuff. But the WNBA, $76,000. And to add on to that, just to put some perspective in this, if she was to win Rookie of the Year next year in the WNBA, she would get a bonus of $5,000. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I kind of wanted to go with you on this, like thoughts on just the whole thing in general.
Yeah, it's tough, right? But I'll give you both her and Angela Reese, because I looked this up this morning, or I saw an article on it. Estimated, right? But they estimate that Clark made, what was it, $3.4 million this year in NIL money. Angela Reese made 1.8 in NIL.
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese. I don't know why I got an A on that, but thank you. So they're both taking pay cuts. I mean, they're going to have advertisement. You know what I mean? They're going to get Pepsi, these other things. They'll have a shoe deal. But as far as the pay, look, man, the WNBA, they're subsidized by the NBA right now. I mean, they got to start putting butts in the seat so you can pay the players, a higher salary and this money. And when you watch the WNBA, those games, you know what I mean? The 3/4 of them are empty. They're empty stadiums. So they're not generating the money to have what the NBA or other pro players, let's say. The teams fly on Coach Airlines. They don't have their own planes to take them everywhere they go. It's just a different setup. But right now, hopefully, I guess Angel and Clark can be the Magic and Bird for the WNBA, right? The way Magic and Bird, energized the NBA. Maybe these two will, and people will start going to games, and you'll see it, and then you can start increasing that pay. But you can't compare it to other leagues because they're not generating the money other ones are. The NBA basically subsidizes that whole league. So
yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said, on that, and you're completely right. They're going to have to generate more money, obviously, in any business aspect to pay the players more. And Caitlin Clark, I think, will be the one to do it. She's gonna like what Kaylee's saying. She's gonna change the whole aspect of the WNBA. I'm gonna watch the WNBA just because of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. It's gonna be, and as a bettor, I'm obviously gonna watch it because I think there's money to be made on it. Especially, I don't know if they have player props out for the WNBA, but
yeah, they might. And if you're the WNBA, I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of it. I like the Liberty, that's New York's team, and that'll be about it. Same thing with women's basketball until you heard about Caitlin Clark. But if they could somehow work it, where those first two picks, one's in the West, one's in the East, and you're setting up that Bird Magic rivalry for the next 8 to 10 years between Angel and Caitlin, who already started it in the NCAAs, right? You get her team in the final going up against Caitlin in the final. Man, I mean, that's money, right? That's going to generate. But you got to set it up like that. They don't need to be in the same conference. They don't need to be in the same division playing each other. No, we'll meet up in these playoffs, and then let's run this thing, for years to come.
Absolutely. I think the more interesting thing too is for me, because like Sach said, now more eyes are going to be on the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark and everything. I think it's going to be awesome, especially from a sports bettor perspective and whatnot. And it's just going to be interesting to really see how she translate over to the WNBA now that she'll be on a team with hot, better ball players in the WNBA. So to see what her talents could bring to a team like that is going to be awesome. I really hope she does well and everything. I think she will, though. It looks like she knows what she's doing. She's got game. It is, oh my gosh, and the endorsements she's going to get. Especially, they're already flooding in right now. It's going to be crazy and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. The other thing was we were seeing this, and you saw this a lot after the game. It seems like there's a huge amount of hate from women's basketball for her going into the WNBA. We saw Diana Taurasi, obviously the GOAT of the WNBA, pretty much, pretty much just like slow playing her and everything. We'll see what happens and everything. And I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me because you got to think like she's putting a light on your sport. She's making your sport relevant pretty much. And whatnot. I don't know what you guys kind of thought of and all that or everything. And obviously when you're good at something, you're gonna have these haters around and everything. There's gonna be hate going around. But what do you guys kind of think on all that?
I mean, obviously, Caitlin Clark's going to get hate. She's a young baller, and Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, they were giving her props during the whole league, but I mean, you kind of tell there was a lot of jealousy when it came down to it. They were saying like, she ain't going to be able to get those layups, she ain't going to be able to do this and that. But at the end of the day, the WNBA has not seen anything like her. You could say Sabrina Ionescu, was kind of the person before her, but it's she's going to bring a lot more eyes to it. And it seems like Caitlin Clark's not a person that's just going to stop working out, stop, improving her game. So I'm all in on Caitlin Clark this year. So I think she's going to take it to new heights. She's going to dominate how she did in college. Because when it comes down to it, like shooting ability they've never seen it. So she's still going to be able to shoot. It's not like she's not going to be able to shoot. A lot of shooters translate to the NBA. And especially when you're a high-end like draft pick like that, they do usually translate. And there's not going to we'll see, but like those defenders have never seen anything like her. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if it's all hate as much as it is,
it's jealousy.
Coming in my house now. Yeah, a little jealousy as well. Remember, they were great college basketball players as well that just didn't get the limelight as much as her. And they went to UConn, so they're still a little salty about that tournament loss to Iowa as well. But I just think you think about like when LeBron came out of high school. Right, there was guys in the leagues that are like, "Hey, we're going to test this young fella. You guys are calling him the king. What, the king of what? You know what I mean?" And I think that's what some of these ladies, and they should be feeling that way. Hey, you did great, but this is another level. You come into our house. We're not just going to throw you a parade. Everybody's not rolling around. Welcome.
But they're not even in the WNBA anymore. They're retired. They're gone. Like, so it's a lot of the old head like WNBA players. And look at. If there's any two that could really criticize the game and critique someone's play, it's going to be Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. They have all the power to create whatever narrative they want, but at the end of the day, they're not playing in the WNBA anymore. They're retired. They're gone. But like Caitlin Clark, I don't think if a hard foul is going to get her off her game, all this stuff. I think she thrives on that. That's what I think that's going to make her take it to the next level. Is she's a girl that without all with all the hate and with all the antics, whatever you want to throw at her, she's gonna go above the bar and she's gonna compete.
Yeah,
there's no soft bone in this girl. That's what I'm saying.
It's like they say, leadership could be what you want. She's one of the same. Leadership, high tide raises all boats. Her going there is going to raise everybody. And everyone's pay will go up, and every views are going to go up. the hate, you're right. Like, I don't understand it. I understand the competitive side. I understand those things. Those girls aren't playing anymore. Women, did not know. But they could be salty too. Like, guys in any sport, pick it. The generation behind are usually a little bit salty on the new one coming in. You're making more money. Your team's a little bit better. The conditions are better. And they want to be felt like, hey, we laid the path for this. Where's our flowers? Where's our, for doing what we did? Where's our stuff? We flew coach. We did all these things so you can get the jet. So so you're going to have some of that. But I do believe if we ran this back, or when we look forward 5 years from now, it'll be a different take on her. She'll be one of the team. She'll be part of the club, and she'll be one of the Hall of Famers. She'll be like, yeah, this lady changed the game for us. I agree with that. So I don't know where that's coming from with it, but I agree.
100%, guys. Yeah, like we said, all in all, great tournament, men and women. Shout out to all the live viewers and listeners tuning in right now. See you guys up above.
Woo-hoo.
Let us know in the comments section. Write us a question, anything. What did you like about the NCAA tournament, women and men's? Anything on your mind, as well as throw some questions our way, guys. We'll definitely get the conversation rolling. Love having you guys in here. It always makes for a better show. We'll keep it rolling. We'll kind of bounce a little forward, guys. This is the Bet Champ Show. After hours, we're here talking all things sports, and we got some games going on their way in the NBA, as well as, if you didn't catch earlier, Sach has a live play right now. Chris Paul over 7.5 points. Warriors versus Lakers. We are on that tonight. Let's kind of take a jump forward, though, guys. We got like around 4 games left in the NBA regular season. We like to do a little check-in. Where are we at right now? I know we're just ready at this point. We're ready to get this thing started. Let's get the ball rolling. But where is our mind right now heading into the playoffs with everything? And we're looking for most. We'll start with Sach.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like the Nuggets might get the 2 seed, to be completely honest. And being from Denver, I say this with no bias whatsoever. The thing that worries me about the Nuggets is they don't have a bench. And I'm watching the game last night, or not the game, but I'm just talking about the Nuggets and blah, blah, blah. But the thing with Nuggets fans, when they're talking about, repeating and doing all of that, is I'm worried that they don't have a person off the bench that can really make an impact. That's the main thing. And when I say that, it's because I'm looking at Christian Brown. I'm looking at Peyton Watson. I'm looking at Reggie Jackson. All of them have not impressed whatsoever to solidify them as a playoff person that can go in and make an impact. You're talking about 2-year and 3rd-year players that are going to go in and change the narrative of what they've done all year. They haven't done anything all year. And that's the only thing that scares me. And obviously the Nuggets, they're going to make a run. They're going to make the Western Conference Finals. They're going to make the finals possibly. But when it comes down to it, they don't have a bench. And that's the only thing that worries me about the Nuggets. They have a great starting 5, but they don't have anyone. You can't tell me as a Nuggets fan that they have anyone off of the bench that is going to go in there and make an impact on offense or defense. Peyton Watson, yeah, he's a great defender, but at the end of the day, he's not that good of a defender where you're going to have him go in there and the Nuggets fans are completely worried. They're completely stress-free, like, oh, he's going to make an impact. That's just how it is. But, I mean, the Celtics lost tonight. A meaningless game, so people are going to overreact to that. They didn't have Kristaps Porzingis. They didn't have their veteran leadership guy and Al Horford off the bench. I'm strictly going off of them off the bench making an impact. And to win an NBA championship, you got to have someone off the bench, 1 or 2 guys off the bench that are going to do what they need to do. And the Celtics have Peyton Pritchard, he's been playing great all year. Al Horford playing great all year. Sam Hauser, great player off the bench in what he needs to do. I don't see that on the Nuggets, and I'm being completely honest and non-biased when I say that. So I'm a little worried about that. Nuggets are going to make the finals because they're good enough to do it, and Jokic is good enough to do it. But when it comes to winning the championship, you're not playing an 8th seed Heat. You're not getting handed a championship when it comes to the 8th seed. That's just not how it's going to be this year. And I'm curious to what he says, but yeah, you're not going to be handed that road this year, and that's just how it is.
So you got Denver coming out the West though, or do you think?
I have Denver going to the Western Conference Finals, depending on who they play. Obviously, I would put my money on Denver making the finals, but when it comes to winning a championship, you have to have people off the bench. And the Nuggets just do not have that right now. They're saying Justin Holiday, like, come on, Justin Holiday's not going to do it. Christian Brown's not going to do it. Peyton Watson's not going to do it. The only reason why I say they're not going to do it is because they haven't done it all year on a consistent basis. And last year, the Nuggets, Christian Brown was playing out of his mind. He was playing great. Bruce Brown was playing phenomenal. All of these bench guys for them were playing great, but they don't have it this year. They just don't have it. And I don't see it changing in a 2-month span for the Nuggets to make that comeback. So the only reason why I'm still staying with the Celtics is because they have the best starting 5 and they have a bench. That's the only reason why.
All right. Fair enough. And you guys know I kind of pulled back, but right now I'm looking at the East, like we always talk when it comes over here. Sox usually covers down on the West. Going into tonight, the Knicks did win. They beat the Bulls. Orlando lost. Cleveland didn't play, so that puts the Knicks in 3rd place. But you have an Orlando Magic team, 46 wins. You got Cleveland, 46. You got the Pacers, 46. Going to the play-in game, Philadelphia has 45 and the Heat at 44. So with 4 games left, you could be a 3 seed or a 4 seed right now and wind up in that play-in game. Like, it is crazy in the East how tight everything is right now, and see how it racks and stacks. So maybe I'll take a look at this last week. I don't want to, but maybe for those teams, because their playoffs have already started for them. You got to be winning, because you do not want to fall into that playing game. Stay out of that shit. Get healthy. I do like that. I do. And it was interesting too, because I was thinking about this today. We make predictions on the show. We get in arguments. We get loud a little bit, and then we'll see. Right, the calendar keeps rolling, so we will see. I'm still on. Boston doesn't make it out the East. I can't tell you who I'll take the field, but that was probably one of our best debates we had on this show, other than the LeBron one. But it's coming that time, and Boston hasn't shown us anything why they shouldn't. Right? I can't tell you, hey, it's this or that. They have a bench. They got a freaking 15-game lead on everybody. Their coach seems to be making the right moves. Everybody was clowning them last year. I don't know, but I just don't know if I got to see once the playoffs start, see if they up the energy. But I have no knocks on them. I can't tell you why they wouldn't. I just don't think they would. So, and that could be a bias as well, right? I'm not the biggest Boston guy. But what do you guys, EJ? I see you hitting your mic.
That'll be interesting. Definitely in the East. We might have to put a little wager on that. The Celtics or the field. I'm going to hop on the field with E. I love it.
Who are you going with the field? Tell me why. I want a breakdown of who you're going with the field.
Yeah, me.
So the field will be any of the other ones.
Yeah, no, I know the field, but I'm saying who.
I'll roll with the Knicks on the field.
What were you saying?
I'll roll with the Knicks.
The Knicks over the Celtics. Come on.
I'll roll with the Knicks,
bro. What are we doing?
I'll roll with the Knicks.
Because ZJ, when I say this, you guys are going with your heart.
I'll take the Cavs. I'll take the Bucks.
No.
The problem with the Knicks, and to Sasha's point, right now the Knicks don't have a bench, and they just don't. Right? And you can't keep
to win an NBA championship. I've witnessed 4 of them. You have to have a bench.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to have a bench. And I think people that think that that don't happen. You're not going against the Heat with no bench. You're not going against all these guys. Like maybe last year, because every NBA playoffs is its own animal. Its own animal. So when you're saying the Knicks, no. When you're saying the Cavs, no. Like the Cavs are not they're not playing good. No. They have no one off the bench. To win a legit championship, you have to have people off the bench. And the Nuggets had it last year. They had an unbelievable bench last year. But they don't have it this year. And when you look at the East, there's no one with a bench. There's nobody with the bench. You can't just go off of, oh, we have the best player, we're going to win. The Nuggets got to do that last year because they had a cakewalk to the finals, and it's not their fault. Like, it happens. The Warriors had a cakewalk to the finals all the time. But in order to win, you have to have a bench. Like, that's not how it goes. The Cavs, name me 5 players on the Cavs.
Give me the field, Sach. You want to put some money on this? I'll take the field.
Yes.
We'll put some coin on this. We'll get it going, ladies and gents. This is the Bat Champ Show After Hours edition, off and rolling. E and myself looking to go towards the field in the East. Sach taking the Celtics to make it to the finals. I like our odds. I'll snap back over to the West, though, real quick. We'll get back into that one in a minute. No, I totally hear what Sach is saying. He's absolutely right. I mean, you need rotational players and everything. Here's what I'll say with the Nuggets. You got Christian Brown this time of year, who's now a little more seasoned than last year. He's a little more seasoned. Got his jitters out last year.
He's in his second year. No, bro, that doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. You
don't just flip a switch in your second year, dude. Name me people.
I mean, a lot of these guys flip the switch in the playoffs.
No, they didn't because they were playing great all year, bro. You don't just flip a switch because you're Christian Brown.
We got Christian Brown, we got Reggie Jackson, and we got
Reggie Jackson, who barely even played last year. Great.
8-man rotation. We'll probably roll with the 7-man rotation, to be honest, though. That's the thing.
But you don't have a 7-man. You don't even know who the fucking 2 other people are. You don't know who they are.
It's going to be the same. Christian Brown's in the rotation. Is he not?
He's not playing good. Is he not, though? He's not playing good.
I don't need him to play good right now. We're already seeded.
He hasn't played great all year. You think he's just going to fucking flip a switch and, I'm a second-year player and I'm just going to flip it?
He did it last year in the playoffs.
ZJ, you had Bruce Brown.
And we got Reggie Jackson.
No.
And now we got Reggie Jackson, a starter in the league.
Yeah, the starter in the league who didn't fucking do anything. You don't just flip it like that. You don't flip it. You don't just flip a switch because your name is Reggie Jackson. You take
the Celtics, I'll take the field in the East, and then I'll take the Nuggets, and you can have the field over there in the West.
No, I don't have to have the field because I already know it's going to be the Celtics. I don't need a field. I have one team. Who's proven it? Who's proven it? The one team with the 3 bench players, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, a bunch of guys I was saying you got the field with the West. Like I don't need the field though. It's the Celtics. There's no debate. I don't need a field.
So I think Zones is telling you he's got Denver. He's giving you the West.
No shit. I know shit. He got Denver.
No,
I could have told you.
I'm just saying that's what he's saying. He's taking Denver with no bench. And he'll give you the rest of the
I know he is. He can take Denver with me as the 6th man, and he take Denver.
Joe said they're running a 5-man.
I could be the 6th man.
You don't need a bench.
Yeah,
this is NBA 2K. He doesn't need a bench. He's got this.
You don't need it. You don't need a bench to win a championship anymore. Never heard of that one. Never seen that,
bro. It's. I get what you're saying.
I've never seen that. Never seen it.
It's a 4-game series.
CJ, but it don't work like that.
It's a 4-game series. The Nuggets have proven all year.
A bench. You've won 1 playing against the Heat. You don't need a bench with the 10 seed.
But we've beat the Celtics whole year in the regular season, so I don't
know. That's fine. And the Bucks
coming out of you.
And you've lost against the Phoenix Suns all year. What does that mean? What does that do? It don't do anything. You guys are obviously better than the Suns. Just because you beat them in the regular season, this is not the regular season. That's not
what I'm saying, baby. But I'll take the field with E in the East. I'll take the field.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the field in the West. You're just being too stubborn.
I mean, they're in
No,
the
because you
playing
guys are
game.
better than everyone in the West with matchups. You guys are way better.
Yeah.
But when it
they're,
comes
they're
to
in the playing game now, but maybe Philly's got a bench, or a better bench than most of the teams. I don't know. Like I said, I can't tell you why. I have to just see him up the energy, and we'll see. Again, right? We could be here in 2 months, and everybody's bowing down to you, Sach. Everybody's saying, "Hey, great call, man, great call." It's just let's see how it goes out the East. Yeah,
He's getting scared though. You can look at him. He's
No,
getting
he's
nervous. He's scared.
No.
Getting nervous. We're in his head.
Don't let him touch your button.
Because it sucks when I've seen 4 championships. I've seen us lose 1 or 2. I've seen us lose 2. You need a bench, bro. I've been to the final 6 times. I don't need to change the narrative and think of something different that works. I don't need that. I've seen it for 6 years, bro. I've seen it. You need a bench. Unless you have LeBron James, a top 2 player of all time, you need a bench. And that, I'm sorry, that's how it goes. And that's how basketball is played. And when you have Jamal Murray, who's an injury prone, he's going to pull something because he's kind of made a paper. That's what's going to happen. You need a bench to score. When Jamal Murray and Jokic don't play well, you need a bench because you're not going up against the 10th seed Heat. I'm sorry, that's how it is. I'm sorry. You can't play the Heat every year. You can't. I know how much you guys would like to play the Heat every year, but you're not going to play them every year. That's not how finals go. That's not how playoffs go. That's just not how it happens.
We have the best starting 5 in all basketball.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
There we go, ladies and gents. Who do you think?
The best player in all of basketball, and that's about it. Don't start with the ladies and gents. No, I'm not finished. You have the best player in basketball, but the best player in basketball, I'm sorry to say, the best player doesn't always win. We've seen it all the time. The best player, whether you have, and ZJ, you go off of the best player, bro. You could have the best player, but the best player don't always win, bro. They don't always win. LeBron was the best player by miles, and he didn't always win.
Yeah, and
you don't always win.
To Sach's point, you can look at kind of like a UConn type thing. Hey, if we're playing, I'm gonna let Joker get his, and then what's everybody else got? You know what I mean? Just because you have the best player, it does come down to that team.
And in all reality, that's probably how it's gonna go. They're going to be like, we cannot stop Jokic. Let's let him have his 30, 15, and 12 every night. But let's stop Jokic, or let's stop Murray. Let's stop MPJ, and let's stop Aaron Gordon. Because if we stop those 3 players, who are they going to have? Who are they going to have scored? No one, because they don't have anyone.
But ZJ says it's easier said than done. I can tell by the look on his face right now.
Easier said than done. Easier said than done. I've seen it. I've seen it more than.
But
ZJ.
here's the thing. You're like, okay, we're gonna let Jokic have his. Okay, well, if you let Jokic have his, he's gonna have 20 assists. And what does that do? So let him have his. Let him have his. He doesn't care.
He won't have 20 assists because everyone's gonna be guarded.
That's the beauty of
Jokic is going to have 30 and 15 rebounds every night.
That's the beauty of Nuggets basketball is Jokic doesn't have to have 30 every game. He's getting everyone involved.
No, he's not, because they're going to be guarded. You think they're scared about Aaron? You think they're scared of Reggie Jackson, Christian Brown, and Peyton Watson, bro? No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. You think in Boston they're like, damn, we got to guard Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, and Aaron Gordon and MPJ. Hell no. Hell no. That's just not how it works.
How much you want to put on us?
I'll speak to you offline because I don't even want to do that.
Yeah, we'll think of something. But there you go, ladies and gents. Off and rolling. This is that Champ Show after hours. The fellas are here. Getting heated as always, but that's how we love to do it. We love to have a little.
We'll have our brackets. That's what we'll decide. We'll do the
Yeah,
brackets once they come out.
We'll get a bracket going
Yeah.
for you guys. Let us know in the comment section though, right here, right now. If you're watching live, let us know who you got coming out of the East. Let us know who you got coming out of the West, and any sleepers you guys are thinking of, as we are 4 games away, roughly, near the NBA playoffs. We're getting stoked. We're getting excited for it, as you can tell by the tones of our voice. We're getting heated for it, and we're ready to go. But we're ready to go too, not only because we want the playoffs to be awesome, amazing, see who's going to make it all the way to the top, but you guys know we're going to have plays each and every day for you guys, player props, spreads. We're going to get all this stuff going for the NBA playoffs. Like I've said this on each episode, Sach and myself killed last year. Playoff wise, made a nice little bag, and we're going to be sharing all these plays with you guys. That's why you got to follow the social media accounts. That's the Champ Show on Instagram as well as TikTok, guys. These plays come out every day, and you're not going to want to miss this playoff run, as well as these plays are going to be outstanding as well. We're going to get the ball rolling for you guys. We're getting it going, as well as we're getting MLB baseball picks coming out your way with Whit. No Whit tonight, guys. You guys know the drill. He is on assignment. We got a couple minutes left in the show, though, guys. Throw some questions our way. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll get a conversation rolling. But let's just go around the room again. Kind of any other news you guys want to throw to light on the show, or anything else you want to just mention again while we go around? You're on mute, Sach.
My bad. Go ahead, E.
Oh, yeah, I was – hey, I'm just looking forward to the week to come, right? You got baseball. We got NBA. I don't know if it's this Saturday or next, but I know we have USC 300 coming up, which will be a big card. I know Sach has a connect with the MMA side as well that we may hopefully can get on and talk to us a little bit about it. Yeah, there's just so much going on right now, and the Masters coming up this weekend. Yeah,
Big
right.
man.
So, yeah, there's a lot out there to be made. It doesn't have to be in the NBA. You just got to know the right sides and the averages where they lay out. So, I'm looking forward to what's to come this week. A little bit nervous out in the East, man. I just need my Knicks to finish that schedule too. I mean, they took third today, but they could just as easily be the 7th seed by the time these 4 games are done. So, yeah, exciting times. What you got, Sach?
No, I mean, you're right. I'm looking at the East standings, and they're from 2 to 6. Everyone's 1 game out, 2 games out. So,
and then look at I think it's Philadelphia with that 7th seed. They're a game back.
Yep, they're a game back officially because they ended up dropping a game. But I mean, at the end of the day, Embiid is the reigning Finals MVP, and am I going to bet against the reigning MVP, not Finals MVP, the reigning MVP? Yeah. A guy? No, I'm not going to bet against that guy, especially to make it out of those first 2 rounds. A guy that scored 60, a guy that has won the MVP trophy. I'm not betting against that guy. And he's officially back, and he's been gone for like 2 months, and people are sleeping on MVP. You never sleep on an MVP like that. A center who can score 40, 50, 60. I mean, obviously against the Miami Heat, everyone can cook the Miami Heat. I mean, we've seen every team destroy the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are nothing. They haven't been anything for 2 years. They'll make a run, and they'll do whatever they want with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, if the chips lie where they are right now, I'm taking the Finals MVP, or God, I keep saying Finals. The MVP, the MVP over the Heat, because the Heat are just not good. They haven't been good. So I'm taking the Sixers over them, especially when you're talking about an MVP that can score 60, 70 points at any will.
Yeah, and they got good players around them. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's a fake. It's a fake 7 seed. You know, I mean, it's
a fake 7 seed. You're right. It's a completely fake.
That's because Embiid was out for 2 months.
Yes. And just like the Heat were a fake 8 seed last year, like, come on, what are we doing?
An 8 seed that beat the
Well,
Celtics.
they just caught fire. This thing that cracks me up with the Heat, and I'm a big Pat Riley fan. I love him, right? But I just do, man. I liked him when he was with the Knicks. When he was with the Knicks, it was all about defense. He went to Miami, turned it to offense. Or the Lakers was all, it was the running Lakers. Came to New York, switched it all to D. Yeah, I like Riley, I do. But the whole Heat culture, I think it's a thing. But to make it sound like the Heat culture is, hey, it's Jimmy Butler and 4 undrafted players. It's Jimmy Butler and 4 undrafted players. That's not going to win you a lot. There's a reason they're undrafted.
And it's definitely not going to win you the finals.
Yeah. And
It's
you
definitely
look
not
at what
gonna win
those guys are doing now. They went out, got their bag. Vincent went to the Lakers. They went out and did their thing, but they're not. Yeah, exactly. They're not what they make it seem like. Hey, that's our culture. Your culture is to go and start undrafted players.
Yeah.
It's just not there. So I don't even know if they're going to have that magic this year. We'll see, right? They've been real quiet all year to include Butler.
And I mean, when you look at the East, like I could very well see the Sixers taking and beating the Celtics. If they have, because they have a bench. They have Kelly Oubre, they have Tyrese Maxey,
Buddy Hield.
They have Tobias Harris, they have a bench, and that's what I've been emphasizing the whole show. They have a bench. And when you have a big as dominant as Embiid is, we're talking about a big that is as dominant as almost any big when we're talking about that. And I'm talking about dominance in point scoring. You can beat the Celtics if you have a big that is dominant in scoring points. But when we're talking about a big that could dominate in passing the ball and rebounding, that's probably not the recipe to beat the Celtics. And when you're the NBA and you're looking at the whole platform of it, you want to beat the Celtics. And you want to beat them in a way where the matchups are good, everything is great, and you want to beat them with the center that can score the ball. And I think the only team in the NBA with the center that can really score the ball at that level, at an MVP level, with 30-plus, 40-plus points a game is the Sixers.
Yeah.
And that's with the center that can score, and I just don't see anyone else with that.
Yeah. Quick update. Yeah. Good thing Sach mentioning past MVPs. I looked at the standings today. It looks like Jokic is minus 4,000 right now.
That's fine. Who gives a fuck about the MVP? No one cares.
So that'll be 3 years in a row.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about MVP. No one cares.
The runner-up last year.
No one cares. Look, Kobe had one MVP. What are we doing? Kobe had one MVP. What are we doing?
Looks like we'll take the best. Looks like we'll take the best center in the game in any game,
bro. No one cares. Tell me one person who cares about MVP. Only Nuggets fans care about MVPs.
And Sach is absolutely right. You're not going to face up against a Heat team every year, just like the Celtics lost to the Heat last year. It's just going to be crazy. That's all they know what to do.
Magical run against the bench.
All they know to do.
And when you look at it, the Nuggets are shivering in their boots over there against the Celtics because they don't have an answer. Your little center,
you absolutely want
your little center who don't score points is not going to do it. It's not going to do it.
You absolutely want to roll with the current MVP this year, guys.
Not this year. Don't mute my mic. Don't mute my mic.
Let's
mute my mic again. Mute my mic again, and we'll see what happens.
Let's keep it going, guys. This is the Bet Champ Show. After
hours, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gents.
We'll probably get some bets going between the fellas. Let us know any bets you guys like in the comments, as well as you can always DM us on Instagram and TikTok. We're always going to respond to your guys' messages. Want to know what you're rolling with this year on this year's playoffs. So we'll keep that going. Yeah, definitely something personal chat going. I'll have to toss out a little flyer there. The East, the Celtics are the field, and we'll have to hop on that. Maybe a little bet on that with Sach. As well, we'll go with the other way too on the West and everything. But wrapping up tonight's show, guys. We want to appreciate all the viewers and listeners for being here. You guys are always here all the time. Never miss a beat. Never miss anything on the social media platforms, guys. We're always going to have content coming your way. And I know Sach is going to get some golf content coming your way as we have the Masters coming up this week. I know that's going to be huge. So we'll get some more plays. Fill every sport, as well as Sach and I were talking. We're going to hit the greens a lot this year. summertime. So we'll get some more golf content out to you guys. And that's big in the summertime. So just plays coming all the time, as well as you never want to miss out on E's plays, especially when the playoffs come around. I mean, this guy has been hot, one of the best cappers in the game. But that'll pretty much wrap up tonight's show, ladies and gents. So we'll just do a quick round the room with the Fez, as we always do, kind of a little closing remarks.
Who'd you throw it to?
Go ahead, Zaj.
Oh, my bad. I was like, wait. I thought I was on mute. I thought I was waiting for him to say something. But no, I mean, the playoffs are going to be great. Playoffs are going to be great. We can focus literally strictly on the NBA playoffs. I'm going to have a couple of golf plays for the Masters. We're going to see the fakers and the realists when this playoffs comes around, as long as there's no major injuries, of course. But it's going to be fun. When you look at every NBA playoffs for like the past 5-6 years, this might be the most insane one with the star power. Like I said last show, no one's injured. No excuses about trade deadlines like the Suns got last year. They got, they kind of got the pass. But this is going to be the legit playoffs where you can see everyone at full strength, everyone with the whole year and a half, with their team, all the centers that can really score at a high MVP level and not just pass the ball. We're going to be able to see all of that. We're going to be able to see, MVP. Jokic is going to get his third MVP. And, I love Jokic. But when it comes down to winning all of these games, it's going to be really hard. And I'm really excited to see him win a championship without a bench. So that's going to be exciting. Because the only one that's ever done that is Steph Curry without a bench, scoring last year. He scored, or 2 years ago. He's had everyone. You couldn't even name a person off of his bench. So that's going to be exciting to see who can really put their foot on the table and really put their dick out. And we're going to really see all of that.
Late breaking news. This is big. Giannis went down jogging light on the court. Possible Achilles. No contact.
I saw that, yeah.
Carried off the court. I mean, Milwaukee wasn't like anybody in here was saying they were jumping up and doing their thing, but sad to see that guy go down. I'm watching it on my other media sites here. They said it's similar to Rodgers. No contact, just kind of went down. So hope he's all right. Hopefully it's nothing bad. He's just a nice dude, man. You don't want to see him go out like that. But so yeah, kind of late breaking on that with Giannis. I'm with everything they said. I think just because I'm a gambler and I like the number side, I'll probably take the field on both sides. Give me the West against Denver and give me the East against Boston. Just number wise, I'll take that. We'll see who comes out of what. I do think that Boston. I do think Philly is. If there's going to be a Rocky, it's got to be Philly. Knicks don't have the bench for it, in my opinion. Tibbs is only going to run 7 anyway. But gosh, you're an OG. You're an OG or another Robinson ankle injury to being 6 down. And they need that second seed. I got to play it out, or the 4th to meet Boston in the finals. Yeah. And then they're going to be tired. They just are. It's a whole other thing. Cleveland needs to turn around. They lost 3 in a row now. So
Cleveland's bad. The Celtics are going to have a cakewalk to the finals, and it sucks to see. But in all reality, I mean, that's just probably is what it is. They might go up against the Sixers with the MVP level center who can score the ball. So that'll be interesting to see.
But other than that, we meet up again Thursday, and by then we had the first round, they should be done by the time we go on with the Masters, the first round, and that there'll be a lot of focus on that, just a lot of attention. So it'll be good to see what Sach's plays come up for that. I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome, ladies and gents. Well, that'll do it for tonight's show. A lot more to come, guys. We'll be here every Monday and Thursday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This after our show, we talk all things sports. You guys can comment, come on, say what you got to say. We'll get it off. We'll get it in the air. This is always live, as well as tomorrow, as Sasha and myself, 6:30 a.m. NBA Player Prop Edition. We've been kind of taking a little break until the last go, but we'll get some plays out to you guys early morning. That's every Monday through Friday, as well as members Saturday.